Good morning, kindred spirits. It's Tara Coutman at the Woo Report with the tarot reading for the day. The energy chart is not out yet. The Schumann resonance chart is not out yet, so I just do the tarot reading first, and hopefully that ties in with the Schumann resonance. So last night I did have dreams, not the greatest. So I still think we're working through, but I foresee seeing a little more energy, a little more white energy. That usually puts my dream world into action. So there's a lot of working through some issues. I was in a strange house with teens. I was at a bar with the teens with older men who were wealthy but looked like farmers. And yeah, I was taking on a lot of the responsibility in the dream, even though I was not the one that did all these things. Right? I wasn't the one that made the messes, but I was cleaning them up, feeling responsible for them. Very, very strange dream. I haven't interpreted that dream yet, so we'll see. That's always interesting. Do not tell your therapist. No. I do think the dreams really show a lot, reflect a lot of what's going on in our waking lives. So, in the reading, it was really nice. I love the Empress card. Very beautiful. Let's play that. Play our recording. So there she is. This card's really pretty. So there's flowers and fruits and everything. You know, it's abundance. Everything's here for us. And that card kind of reminds me of the opposite. Well, not the opposite, but one of its the card that has been coming up a lot. And the clarifying card has been the Four of Cups, where the crow is just sitting there. It has all these things, all this abundance with these cups, stuff in these cups, but just like looking around, like, yeah, what do I do? The apathetic. I think that's the apathetic card. So this is a really good sign that things are changing, and that things are. I really do believe there was a timeline shift. I really hope it's not for the worse, but I don't know. Sometimes it seems like they're like, or we have to take action to make them work with the new energies. And I think that's really tough because as things change, you have to change, and it's hard when you've been embedded in habits and things like that. So, and I really do think that with these changes in this energy, some people don't want to stay. And I hope I want to stay. I don't know, because deep down inside, you might not know what your soul knows. So, if it's a better time for you somewhere else, I mean, really physically leaving this place. So there are a lot of indications. And sometimes maybe it's like I thought was interesting about this reading as it goes on to the death card and the death in the tower card. We really have no choices. It's put upon us. But then we have, so that's like, sometimes we don't want change so bad, but we need change. And sometimes that change is going to happen with the tower, or death, physical or other ways. We'll be forced to change. This reading also has a judgment card, which is interesting, which that does give us choice. I really like this reading. It's really good. So let's go forward. So the root energy is the Empress, and this embodies nurturing, abundance, and creation from the past for the collective. And this root energy, it recalls a historical foundation of growth and care. Perhaps we had the Ten of Pentacles in this position previously. We also had the visionary drive of the King of Wands in that position. So setting a fertile ground for today's shifts. So going forward, this has been, positive for us. Very positive. That is our root energy. And, you can say anything you want about how bad Western culture is. Some of the things that we're seeing and what drives people to our countries is that we have social systems in place, and there's not a lot of other countries that do as much as Western cultures do for its citizenry. But we have to remember, we have to have compatibility. And now we're going to have issues with our immigration and people not learning a language, so we become divided. So it's not that we're forcing people to speak English, we just have to have one language that we all can understand going forward. Otherwise, we're going to have little sections of these people speaking this language. We'll have another Europe. And that's not what we intended in America. So we have to have a unifying language, period. I'm not saying English is the best. And my youngest son used to have a like a Freudian slip and called Anglish. And then when I learned that, oh yeah, English is set up to like box you in, angles, it makes total sense. So I'm not saying English is the best language. It's what we've used. And it is, excuse me, and it is something that would keep us together as a collective. So we need a language, and and going forward, and I'm not saying that English is the best, but we do need that. And today, with all the cell phones and television streaming and stuff, people can never learn English who come here. Never have to learn English. Even with phones, talking to people, they can have like translators right there, so they never have to go through the pain of learning. Of course, I'm pretty sure their children are going to want to learn, but that's a whole nother generation away. So we have to be really careful about, and I know some of the immigration is probably due to people in the Western culture have been traumatized and also propagandized into thinking procreation hurts the earth. Well, it's like then the best people who want the best for the earth aren't procreating. It's a whole cycle. I know Elon Musk on X posted something about the fertility rates, and that's really something that's really important that we all should be aware of, and pray that good people, the economy, people feel safe and not traumatized so they can have families. We need really a law set up like that. I know I talked before in some of my videos about protection of homesteads. One homestead, maybe rich people get taxed a hell of a lot if you have. I don't think Europe is going like you're going to get taxed on extra rooms. I just think a median home, like what is the average size home, maybe 3,000 square feet. I don't know, probably less than that. Mine's probably about 2,300 with the extra garage space apartment. So that's, somewhere around 3,000 square feet of living space. That seems, reasonable. And so no tax on your homestead. Then you have your third house. And this is a fair way to, tax the rich, because it's like a sales tax is fair too. They buy more, so they get taxed more. They have more houses, they get taxed more. So that kind of thing. Okay, so then we go to the current vibration is the Three of Wands. Kind of like past it a little bit. And the Three of Wands signifies expansion, foresight, and waiting for results in the present. Today, the collective feels this poised anticipation, mirrored by the charts, calm base yesterday. And this is building on the Wheel of Fortune's challenge. And the Knight of Pentacles was in this position this week. So steady progress as opportunities emerge on the horizon. So going forward, things look really good with the Three of Wands. It's a really great card. You can see her that she's alone here. But you can see that help is on the way with the ship coming in. And she looks pretty good here. She has a nice dress, abundance and the wands blooming. So that's really a good card. And the challenge card is death. Death represents transformation and the end of cycles, posing a challenge. The collective faces the obstacles of letting go of old structures, echoing the Hierophant's resistance. So we had the Hierophant in this position. And the King of Wands, overconfidence, this week. Resisting the chart, subtle surge is a call to release. So death is a call to release the old. But we hang on to it like she's hanging on to the dead skeleton, hanging on to dead things and not letting things flow. And like I said, that's like with the root energy of the Empress, where we have everything, but we take it for granted. And I know we do that in America. And you hear people, I know it's not a perfect country, but like I keep saying, you have so many material things, materium things to build with and to create more with in a life. But it is tough when you have the fern note and those people causing inflationary collapses and just plain out corruption causing collapses. 2008 was no more than Remick fraud, trust fraud. Now they've changed the laws to allow all these things. Before trust law, I'm going to just go off into the weeds. Grandma's going to go off in the weeds a little bit. Before the trust law was that, and I think it was Andrew Jackson. It's one of the good ones, one of the good founders who didn't want the Federal Reserve Bank or Bank of the United States, a centralized banking system. Well, they came up with the trust system, and it is ingenious. But it's so easy to cheat that the laws were written that if you cheat, that you lose everything. So you don't get to keep profits from your cheating, and you lose all your money. So that's why they called it toxic debt and were in such a panic, because they can't enforce this debt. They had to change the law, do all sorts of bad things to collect, and the states went along with it so they could collect on their money too. Otherwise, it would have been a way bigger collapse, but we're just like, prolonging the pain, I think, or trying to come up with other solutions. And, digital currencies might be the answer to that. I am not sure, but yeah. So those collapses really hinder us from going forward and feeling confident going forward and, having a family and some of those things. So there's big issues in Western countries, and especially America, with just corruption, and the worst being our leaders. And I would take any person who's not a politician any day of the week before I would lifelong politicians. Because lifelong politicians haven't said anything up until now. Well, some of them have tried, and I really do appreciate that if you look in the bills they presented regarding trying to undo the Federal Reserve. So there have been people who write up bills, but they get rejected. But you have to give them credit too, because it's there. The foundation's there to get rid of it. But the problem is what do we put in its place? And now that we have more freedom with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, we could possibly see that we don't need them, or maybe something will happen we'll get a silver certificate or something of that nature, where it'll be a competition with the Federal Reserve note, but it'll be American Treasury produced, just not, it'll be the people's dollar and the people we elect to do their job and not put it off on the Federal Reserve. They think that somehow that was a legal act. So the challenge is death, and then so we have to release. So I think maybe the chart is maybe going to show some of that release that we're doing, and maybe that was some of my dream. I'm not sure. I don't know what my dream meant yet. This is a lot of work to do first thing in the morning, just getting this tarot reading. So then, excuse me, we have judgment. So judgment is in the outlook. That's really good. Like I said before, death and the tower forces change, but the judgment signifies awakening, renewal, and accountability. So I really like that. going forward. The future holds a collective rebirth, building on the Seven of Wands. That was in the last week's reading in that position. The Seven of Wands defense and the Magician's power. Well, it's the creatrix in this deck, the Magician's power, aligning with the chart's potential to reflect a higher vibration. So hopefully I'm seeing more of that white. And when I do see that white, that makes me feel really good. It looks like angel wings to me. Or it just like bursts and then goes down gently. You gentle start and then high power and then gentle release of the power. So then after that, so the outlook is judgment. And the hidden card was Three of Pentacles. So where is my hidden card? I'm moving things around. Okay, so there is the Three of Pentacles. I love this card, and I just noticed this is really a beautiful deck. Dream Keepers by Liz Houston. And I just noticed that you can see the reflection that they look like real people, not these mannequin people. So that was kind of interesting. So the hidden card is Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles embodies collaboration and skill as an underlying energy hidden within. This force drives teamwork and craftsmanship, enhancing the lover's choice. And the Ace of Pentacles, prosperity, grounding the collective's effort. So this is a nice card for the hidden card. So things going on behind the scenes, maybe our government's interworkings, we're starting to get along or doing something in our favor. That would be nice. So the collective, let's see, the interpretation of this is the collective is rooted in the past, the Empress, currently expanding with the Foresight, the Three of Wands, challenged by death, the need to release the old cycles. And then moving towards renewal, judgment. So hidden collaboration would be the Three of Pentacles we just looked at. Today's just strategic shifts. Seven of Swords suggesting a creative reset. So we had the Seven of Swords quite often last week in different positions. So maybe we can see a creative reset here. And there was a lot of calm. So we'll see what it looks like today, the subtle surge. I'm expecting a little more, especially with this creative card, a little more white and more energy in the Schumann resonance chart. But we'll see. We'll see what's there. Okay. I'm going to go look at the chart. Hopefully it's there. It's now 10:25. Yesterday it was not there at this time, so we will see. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so hello. The Schumann resonance chart was updated. So I have that recording here. And let me pause that. I didn't mean for that tarot video to go. So let's take it all the way back. And pause it. I don't have a very good image of that. Maybe next time I will take an image of, because I just wanted the cards to show too, from the reading that we did. So here is the chart. Get that on there. And here. So we can see, I put these lines here because it's confusing to me when the chart's ended, and this kind of like shows you a good graphical thing. So this was today, this was the 27th, and that was the 26th, and into there is the 25th. So you can just kind of see how it's going. So yesterday, we had that little shift here. And so this was the 27th, and you kind of see the ending of the chart here. And then we're going into the 28th. So this was 5 o'clock to 5 o'clock, so 10 to 10 our time. So Russia time, 5 to 5 our time, UTC time. So that's kind of another thing that's rather confusing, getting to understand the UTC, but okay, we're doing that. So we can see here, and here is about 4:30, 5 a.m. I don't know if that's where I was dreaming, but that's like a real sketchy type. It's not quite, it's not really clean. Let me see. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can. All right. See if it will work. 8:28. Do this. Okay, it does that. Okay. Not really what I expected. Can I do that bigger? I just want to show you at the end. Yeah, I guess it's just where I put my cursor. I'm going to start it here and then, no. Okay, I just can't do it. Okay. Oh, maybe just this. Oh my gosh, is it that easy? So, yeah, kind of. Yes, I think we are seeing that line there. Sure. Let's go down. No, that wasn't what I wanted to see. So this looks a little, just da 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 da, like stitchy. When you really look close to it, you can kind of see these breaks in it too. So it's not really a clear energy line. It's got these little bursts here. And it's interesting that here we have some only up. Not a lot of red going on, but I do not like these little glitches here where you can kind of see a little bit of red in there. So not the clear energy that I was hoping for. So we're still in a rest period after the after this area here, the shift thing happening here, and this just craziness here. So yeah, not quite. Oh, we can go biggie, big, 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 but I really don't have it. Centered in my OBS window properly for that. So as you can see, so from 11 o'clock, that was all day yesterday. Here's this weaving, stitching pattern with some of the red down in here. And there was not a lot of power yesterday, so still fairly calm energy. So let's see, what do I have? What did I say? So the energy, analyzing that chart. Okay, so there was a maximum power of 15 yesterday, and today's only like at 12, 10, and 12. And I believe that is the time here that we get that 12, which isn't a lot. So, that right there could have, this right here could have indicated a power overload. I'm not sure if you want to say that was a timeline shift. I think just weirdness is going on, so it possibly could be. And also, we're just like this old stuff in this reading today, and the tarot reading is dying, right? We're going forward. We have to get over death. We have to let things go and die and release those things. And judgment's allowing us, the card of judgment is allowing us to, go forward, see those things and go forward. It's not forcing us to. We have a choice to go forward or not, to get into that Empress energy. But these other things are challenging us. But it was a pretty good tarot reading today. So My dream was really strange. So I dreamt of part of it was this older woman who had a walker, and I was walking with her too. Um, I can't even remember the outfit she was wearing, and we were outside. But I seen her walker in the bathroom, and there was like crap all around, and I was trying to clean up the crap, and I felt really responsible for the crap, even though it wasn't my crap. Anyway, so then I get onto the news just a minute ago, and I realized that this woman was shot in the face, and she had a walker. So I'm like, oh wow. And I don't know if I discussed that with you before. I think I have on previous videos that many of my paintings are inspired by people coming to me. Someone down the street committed suicide, and they came to me in a dream, and then I kept hearing this song, "Never Can Say Goodbye, Girl," and that's the picture I have here. That all the time I was painting it, he was telling me his story. It was very, very weird. But let me put this up top, just so you can see it. Order, move to the top, bring it over. Actually, I kind of reverse this. So this is not the one I really want. I want this one. So I was messing around with them. You just seeing what they look like turned around. So let's bring this one to the top. Oh my goodness. OBS is so much fun. Okay, so this is that came up that I painted, and all these songs came up, and the one song that kept coming up was "Never Can Say Goodbye, Girl" by Michael Jackson. Very old song. I don't know when that was out, but hopefully it was in 1979, because that years keep, I'm saying this timeline shift. I don't have a new one. Nothing came up for that new timeline. No ping for what year or where we're going, but 79 was good because it comes out with the AI. So the AI pressures we're feeling, like, oh, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? We are feeling a lot of that in the collective. Oh, we're all going to lose our jobs, and the panic, or we all can be rich. All that, that tension. So with this, this person said to me, as I was painting it and getting the vision here on the side closest to me with this hand, and he showed me these windows. One side is for his girl, one side is for his little boy. And he put the little boys on his side, and his girl, the older girls, on this other side where the mom's at. I called this like Midnight Goddess, where I see the moon in the center, and he's talking about her, and you can kind of see she looks kind of pregnant here. Like you could look at her as pregnant, or her belly could be the arm, and she's got her hand on her hip. And just a whole bunch of collage of different things happening there. And a lot of times I'll say when I'm painting, if the spirit wants to come through, I'm almost done, I'm going to stop. And so he showed me some things about his mom too, with the influence on on him as a male and on his son. There's a little giraffe peeking out, and this little shark here. And I found out that when I did finally get to talk to the mom, that there was he loved sharks, a little boy. And with the little girl, there's a kitty down here at the bottom. So I, thought that was kind of interesting. And there's a dog also. So I don't know if she really liked pets. I really wanted to the mom got remarried. So this might be just a painful reminder, but I think the daughter might like it. It's a memorial kind of a spirit. So anyway, that dream really brought into my conscious, the fact that, maybe that woman came to me in my dream. And when this person that committed suicide came into my dream, I was in a parking lot, and my windows rolled down, and I was waiting for somebody at a park. Sometimes like someone's taking the bus or whatever, you end up waiting there for somebody, pick up, drop off kind of thing. And he comes into my window and he just goes, boo, and he scares the crap out of me. And in the dream, we like worked towards getting him, seems like getting them crossed over. So maybe that's what was happening in my dream. But why that woman is so far away? But a lot of times it's like really disadvantaged people come into my mind, like they don't have a voice. Michael Brown came to me, and I painted what I thought was going to be like Motor City, where I grew up was really tough. So I wanted to like paint something about that and like get that release. And it was a lot of interesting paintings with, his painting was really interesting. When I painted him, he felt really bad. Like he, realized it was his attitude. That caused all that. And that's really, really, really sad. And there's a lot of women in that, so he was like very much gonna miss all the women in his life and the pleasures that women bring. He was a young man, but he had a lot of, a lot of women imagery. And there was a shoe that came up too, and a perfect little shoe, and it had the Velcro. And I would be like, okay, if I went to a parent and said, does that look like his shoe? And there, there's like a little cemetery with a whole bunch of crosses, and sadness. So that was kind of interesting. So, well, that's that for the energy report. So I will see you tomorrow, and have a good one.